have with us Shivanand Kotian sir, and he is MBA graduate in marketing in 2014. It is an honor to have you today, sir. Sir have worked in different industries, whether it's food tech or banking sector, from HDFC to Kotak to Groupon to Zomato. And today he is working as a marketing director in Luminal Custody in Singapore. It is an honor to have you today with us, sir.
Thank you so much, Samiksha.
So, sir, to understand more about your industry, you have been working with different sectors from HDFC Bank to Zomato, from going from food tech to even banking sector. So, what all growth strategies do you plan? Is there any universal principle for it, or how you apply it in the different industries that you have worked across?
So I think one of the things that I've done across my career is understanding customers, because I think that's something that has been crucial, and that is one of the principles that we learned in SIS. So even when I was working with Zomato, it was an ad sales role, how it started out. So understanding the user was a restaurant owner, right? How he's going to benefit out of it, right? And this was a time when people didn't know Zomato. There was no app, right? It was only a website. We used to sell ad spaces on the website, right? And I've called the people saying that I'm calling from Zomato. They have said, no, I don't want tomato. I have a tomato vendor. So that was a peak for me when I realized, oh, it's a brand that we all know, right, today, but at that moment it was not there, right? So you have to actually speak in the language that your users, or let's say your client, understands. So from a food brand, it was primarily a sales role. Then I started I also was working with Nearby, which was earlier Groupon, Ankur Wariko, I think a lot of people might know him. So it was great to understand how that business model worked, right? And why brands should work with Groupon or Nearby, right? It is more about filling in those times when you don't get business. Rather than just sitting idle, why don't you put your deals on Groupon, right? And that was my actual pitch. And people realize, yeah, I can actually do that, cover up my cost, right? My staff will also be busy. They will not be lazy because they're not getting business, right? And eventually work with HDFC. So HDFC and Kotak HDFC primarily was the one big experience for me. Large bank, you realize the activities or the campaigns, there is so much thought, right? I was handling the retail assets business, marketing for that and the comms. And I would like to call out my mentor also, Rohit Rana. He was a manager and he was really helpful. We worked on something called a behavioral economics, right? It's a behavioral principles. Robert Cialdini's book was something that he told me to go through it, and it was whatever we do and whatever marketing is purely psychology, right? An apple is a phone, right? But you are ready to pay such a huge price for an apple, whereas you're not okay to pay the same price for a Micromax, right? So that is all because of brands, and brands, I feel, it is created in the minds. And psychology is that one aspect. So I loved psychology because I think it gives you an edge when you're getting into like conversations right now, right? Or even when you're going out to a local vendor and negotiating with him, you need to understand psychology. So that has been one driving principle for me. And currently in my current role, I work with Liminal Custody. So we are a SaaS firm. We provide the infrastructure for crypto exchanges. Not many people know this industry, and not many people are aware about these things. But it's a very niche industry, very tech oriented. Here my role is to ensure that we are able to put out what a business can leverage when they work with us, right? There are a lot of manual processes. You're dealing with people's money, right? How you can use automation, how you can use a wallet infra provider, how can Liminal help you improve your services, right? So that you can give better services to your customers. So underlying factor for me has been always understand what is that pain point of the user, right? And that can only come after speaking to people, and try if you can make him feel smart, right? In B2B, generally we say that the people who's gonna use your product, let's say he might be software engineer, right? He's gonna use your product. Make him feel smart when he says that he's using your product, right? And I think that drives business. Same goes for customer. Would you be wearing an Apple Watch and telling that it's an Apple Watch, or would you be wearing some unbranded watch and would you be okay to say that name, right? I think that's the way a marketer should function, and that's in the growth business, everything will come in, right? When you know that this is a problem I'm solving. So yeah.
Yes, sir. Wow, it's like quite inspiring that you have worked in most of the industries and sector which have started from scratch.
Okay.
So you must have got a very better exposure.
Okay.
So, how do you see the current marketing trends as a digital marketer?
Yeah. Uh, See, digital marketing, I feel it's a quite a wide, it's a wide term. People mistake it for only performance. People only mistake it. Let's say having a website is like a digital marketing, right? I think there are slight nuances. Also depends upon the scale of the company, right? How big is your company, right? How are you? What is the problem statement you're solving, right? Do you want to have acquisition? Primarily, it was offline. Now you want to have online acquisitions. That's where digital will come in. Is it an if for or? No, it's a must, right? It's about how much investment you're doing. Do you have like a straight through process? Like say in HDFC, that was one of the projects that I'm working on was a straight through loan, right? Wherein when a person can be seen an ad on Facebook, he wants a loan, he will click on it, his data is there. But this seems very fluent and simple right now, but there's a lot of tech behind it, a lot of teams, a lot of inter-department that is working. So digital marketing is going to stay. I think that is something, that question did not come to a marketer's mind. It's about how you can leverage it, right? Understand, as a coming back to the main point, understand what is the pain point of the user, right? How your product can solve it, A, right? How you can convey this message, right? In a better manner, right? In the right location, right? If he's at a shop and if you are a payment provider, if he's at a shop, how you can ensure that you are the brand that comes up, right? And you're able to convey these, right? If it is, let's say, a monthly salary, right? Does your app have a notification? Does it have the data that it can go to? Do you have a data science team who reads the data and say that every 5th of the month, he's going to make a payment? So can I put a notification saying that it's a salary month and you have to make this payment? I think digital marketing and all this data should help you communicate better with your audience, right? Get more business, get closer to your customers. I think that's how I look at digital marketing. And because of AI now coming into the picture, I think things going to change, right? Earlier, a lot of manual work was to be there. I think now AI can actually reduce that load, right? And give you more ideas. Right? So, yeah.
So, sir, according to you, to talk about AI, like
Right.
how do you see that as a marketer, how they should adapt such skill? What is your recommendation?
Correct. I think AI is the best colleague that you have, but who is not occupying a seat next to you. So that's how I look at AI. In my current role and my current company, I've been very fortunate to dabble with a lot of AI. Like when people talk about AI, they only look at ChatGPT, but I think there are multiple models out there, right? There is Perplexity, there is Claude, there is DeepSeek. So I always look out for new models and experiment it and also pay for those models, right? I think a lot of times people are on the fence saying that I'm not be paying, right? But how you will understand what input it's going to give you, right? You are performing certain roles. If something is going to help you perform better, right? Why not use it? Right? There are certain models also called as Hagen, right? So it's like a virtual, like a video creator, right? You can actually, like, this entire podcast can be done with a different script. If I just upload a Word document on Hagen, and it will create, it's a digital avatar. So AI is gonna be here, right? I think anybody who's questioning, again, like digital marketing, AI is gonna here. Will AI take up your jobs? I don't believe in that argument. I think AI is just gonna complement, right? People should know how to use AI, right? Your reluctance to use AI may cause you certain challenges. I know it's a very strong statement, but yes, because people who know AI will be preferred. People who know AI will know there's a better way to do things, right? And where to use AI and what not to use in AI, right? Because there are discussions happening about sensitive data to be uploaded in AI, right? But if you don't know AI, you will not do that, right? So I think that is foremost important. And the best part, I think, for India and in general is information is available freely now, right? It's the intent and the curiosity to learn that has to be there. And yeah, if you just spend 1 hour with a ChatGPT model or even a Claude, whatever model, ask questions about your day-to-day life in terms of, let's say, a problem that you're facing at office. How would you solve it? And give it different personas. How would maybe a marketer solve this problem? How would a CEO solve this problem? How would Leonardo da Vinci solve this problem? I think just spend some time on a daily basis on these models, and yeah, AI has been really helpful for me. A lot of content generation, a lot of QC that happens on AI.
I totally agree, sir. Being adaptable to technology is the only solution that's needed. So, what is your advice for the future marketers?
I would say always keep experimenting. For marketing, I think that's because whatever we thought was not possible is possible now, right? Billboard wars, right? Nobody thought that would be billboard wars, right? 3 billboards speaking with each other, having communications. Digital wars, brands coming in, like everybody must be knowing moment marketing, trends, right? So I think experiment, be open to experiment, but at the same time also understand how it's gonna play out, right? In terms of is it actually fulfilling the goal, right? It can be about brand awareness. It can be even about, let's say, sale, right? What is that? That intent is important. That objective is important, because I feel marketing is no longer a support function. It can become a primary function when you are able to deliver results, right? When you're able to deliver sales, when the needle is moving from 0 to 1. I love whenever I meet people who are able to say that marketing is the reason things are moving, right? And I believe that, right? Otherwise, no brand would have existed without marketing. So, for the only advice I would give to budding MBA or any marketer would be keep experimenting, be curious, right? Try out. Like if you are handling social media, try building your own LinkedIn, try building your own Instagram handle, because that's the only way you're going to learn it, right? And that is what's going to stay. A proof of work concept, which I believe a lot of people know, but it's going to be the mainstay going ahead. People don't want to be looking at only your grades and the marks. They want to be seeing your work, what you have done. So for any marketer, take up any project. Your intent and your curiosity to do that project will always put you at least 5-10 steps ahead of other people, right? So that's all I would want to say.
Yes, going ahead, and definitely marketing is the only there because of which the product grows and the
Correct.
company can grow ahead. So, sir, being SIS SBS alumni,
Right.
how was your growth in SIS college, and what advice would you like to give to all the students of SIS School of Business Studies, and how did SIS shape in building your career?
I think I've been really fortunate and grateful to be part of SIS. I still remember before SIS, I was not much into extracurricular activities, but I remember having a conversation with a friend before we got into MBA, saying that okay, if I'm doing this MBA, no, I'm going to do everything which I didn't do in my graduation because I wanted to stand apart. Right? I took a year gap in between wherein I worked. So I got into the council, I got into a lot of events, I had a wonderful team members, and the entire batch was so supportive. We went to a lot of colleges, we won a lot of trophies, right? So that was very nice in terms of getting that exposure, and in terms of learning, I felt it brought in a lot of discipline, right? I don't want to be sounding like one more like a philosopher, but I think in a career, it's a very long 30-year period, right? 30 to 40-year period. What can remain and what is the one thing that's going to stick for a very long period is your discipline and your consistency, right? You have to be disciplined and consistent. I think SIS and its values speak about that. So I've been really fortunate that I come for these sessions, and I've been coming to college for some of the other events. It's nice to see that the college is also moving in the right direction. Yeah, so I'm always happy to be part of any initiatives of SIS.
SIS is truly known for its value, and it was honor to have you today, and thank you for giving such a great guidance and advice to all the MBA aspirants. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Samiksha, for having me.